And that's what makes it so hard. Part of the reason why you can't focus on classroom management is because everything else is not handled. Lesson plan is like, it takes up your entire focus, okay, in a week. During the week. After you do lesson plan, you have to grade it. That takes up another focus. After you grade it, or before you even finish grading, you're on to the next day. That takes up another focus. Now, instead of starting the week ready to go with all lessons, with all materials at the front and center, so that when you step into the week, you're stepping into the week to, yes, deliver the lesson, but really your focus is on classroom management. So you can you can implement the strategies. You can outreach, reach out to parents and do outreaches, right? To parents. You can you can apply different tactics, because while you have that mental space to do that. But when you're just running, you're just one step ahead of yesterday. If that, really, you're playing catch up from yesterday because you didn't finish grading yesterday, so you're stepping into today with yesterday's load, and it's just the cycle continues. So that's why, that is part of the reason why you can't focus on it, and your classroom either is or feels like a mess. It's because the job of a teacher is you're always on. You're always on. There's not a single day where you can say, okay, let me let up for a second. 1 second for you is like a lifetime. Okay? The way that other people in other maybe industries can just take a break, step aside, catch a breath, make a phone call, get some fresh air, go to the bathroom. Like the way that other people can do those things in other industries, teachers don't have that. You turn around once, all hell breaks loose. It's just like, whoa. And then everything has to be on your radar. You have to catch everything in order to make decisions. No wonder you're tired when you go home, because the brain cannot continue. It just cannot. It's sustained. Not just the decision making itself, but the back and forth. You're always switching tasks 24/7. But the bulk of the work is not even the lesson planning or delivery. Not even that. The bulk of the work is the behavior. Dealing with student behavior day in and day out. People think it's easy trying to come in and, what's so hard about being in a classroom with kids? Yeah, what's so hard about it? Well, you try it and talk to me after. Okay? But yeah, we need to really wait a minute. Yeah. We need to find a different way. This way is not working. Even though it may work for some people that like to be pressured, and they like pressure, they like feeling that the rush, the adrenaline of getting something done and they doing it last minute. No, that's not everyone. Certainly not us. Okay? You should be able to step into your day without this surge of anxiety and stress ready to take over your body, because of you have to do the lesson plan. Even if you wrote it, you haven't even had time to digest and process what it is that you wrote. Now you have to step in and deliver, and you have to do accommodations and adjustments and things like that. You have to teach all students. You have to serve everybody. That's on top of any and every distractions that may come up during the day. Okay? Something has to give. Something has to be automated. Okay? Something has to be automated or systemized into such a degree that you can free up a few brain cells, even if it's 10 brain cells that we release, and we can continue to release them one at gradually over time. But even if it's okay, 10 brain cells that you just free up, to be able to focus on classroom management, especially with certain classes. Maybe you can get by if you have good classes. You can get by with showing up the day of and just kind of like pulling some strings last minute and throwing things together, and you can probably get by. But let me see this. What is it? 38. What? Yeah. Look, listen, let's just finish with this. Yeah, I mean, it's not amazing. You can probably get by if you have good classes, but if you have even a single class out of all the ones that you're teaching, can make or break your year, because that's still a lot of sessions with that class. It's still a lot of meetings, sessions with that class, and it's all year. Okay, at least if it was a couple months, you could say, okay, yeah, I'll just get through this much and then be done with it. But all year going on like this, it's just pretty much nearly impossible. And what we need to do right now is focus on liberating ourselves, making our brains available for strategizing around behavior. When you see you have a class that's high behavior like this, where every day is on, every day is another, is pretty much a battle. Every day is a fight, just to get through the hour, just to get through the hour. Then you have to, you can't just sit back, which you're not as a teacher, you're not. But there's a certain level of engagement that you have to have with certain classes. You can't approach them the same way as everybody else is. You can't have the same degree of patience. You can't have the same degree of understanding. You have to get into the ring, and that's one thing that sometimes you hesitate to do. You have to get into the ring and go on the attack at this point. Look, go on the attack in terms of you are trying to get rid of the behavior. The behavior needs to stop. You need to be able to come in and ready to learn. That's it. It's not come in and then have that cue of mentally they're like, okay, time to play. Once they walk into the class, they think they can play. They think they run something. They don't. But when you exercise patience to no end, that's what you're communicating. Because some of these kids, they don't understand anything until they see something. The only thing they can understand is action. The words have no value. So show them. Okay? Show them. They need to see. They need something visible and tangible that they can see. Oh, okay. If I do this, then it has to be an if-then statement. You have to talk to their brain. Some of their brains don't work like everybody else's. You have to talk to their brain so that they can understand. If you're talking to your own brain or you're talking to yourself, that's not achieving anything. That doesn't achieve anything other than where you are. It's like, okay, yeah, as a kid or as a student or as a parent or as a whomever, if this was you, you would have changed your behavior already. It would have been done already. It would have been handled. But some of these kids, not only are they not changing, even if you communicate home, it's like they hear 2-3 words one day and then it's like within a week it's over. They're just back to square one. So there's no consistency even in the parenting sometimes. Okay? It's just they just get one or two words, and then it's like everybody forgets about it. No, the thing what you do is not, you don't suffer in silence. What you do is you make sure your situation, the situation that goes on in the classroom, as far as their behavior is concerned, is top of mind every single day on everybody's mind. The student, the parents, and everybody involved. It should be top of mind at a certain level. It should be top of mind for everybody. Okay, you already know. Oh, you have French today? Yeah. Okay, so I expect this. They already know. Out the gate, they already know. And if they don't, like if they step into the room and they act, act a fool, like they already know what's gonna happen. Like so it has to be clear to you. It has to be clear to everybody, primarily the students, so they can just make the change and be done with it. But if need be, it needs to be escalated to. It needs to be pushed out to the parents. It's like, look, get a hold of your kid. Okay? And if you don't have the ability to do that, if the kid is not ready to go to school, don't send them. Keep them home, teach them something, like manners. Okay, basics. There's only so much teachers can do at a certain level. Okay? If they missed out on certain key notions, then they need to go back to those classes where those key notions were taught. Or they need to get supplementary education. We're always supplementing academics, math and science and all this. We need to supplement social skills, like basic human behavior. Okay, instead of having all these so-called children out here looking like they're in the wild. It's insane. Like acting a little bit more civilized. Okay?